what's up everybody? It's been a minute since I uploaded videos again. I've been really busy last couple of weeks. Well, actually for about a month now. It's been a long time since I posted something about this cooler. So I wanted to do an update. As you can see, this is my back room, and the thing is just shoved in the corner. It's been a good storage unit. It's been a good shelf. It's been a good trash can on the inside. It was great to hide some Christmas presents in here because nobody would look in there. But a little backstory. If you're, like a newer subscriber and you're just watching this, check out the playlist for this cooler. It's called the 150 quart Monster, or Monster Wagon, something like that. I started building this. It was like towards the end of 2015, I think, early 2016, something like that. Kind of just piecing it together. I didn't have a lot of money to blow, and buy like everything at once. But, and then with me, when I'm working on projects, something like this, I'm always changing my ideas. I'm always like, oh, hey, let me do this instead. Let me do that. Let me do this. I've changed the direction I was going with this probably 30 times. And I never actually did finish it. I used it numerous times. I had it hooked up enough to where, the speakers worked, the lights worked. And, that was, like, really my main focus, just making sure the speakers work. Because this thing is a monster when it comes to sound. It's so loud and it sounds so good. But, as you can see, it's huge. Here's, like, a workout machine thing for size comparison. Terrible comparison, I'm sorry, but it's huge. Here's my big fat arm. And you still got all that. I originally built this thing, I wanted it to be a monster. I wanted it to be ridiculously big. I threw around the idea of actually buying a electric motor and mounting the motor inside, with a couple more batteries, and putting a sprocket on either the front, one of the four wheels, putting a sprocket on, probably the back, because they're, stationary, they don't turn, directional. And I wanted to have the thing like on a remote control where you could literally just kind of drive it, like if you're going through the beach or something, have some kind of like control, like a assistant feature, just not to ride it, but like this thing's heavy when it's loaded, when it's got the battery in there. Right now it probably weighs 100 pounds. It's nothing. But with the battery alone, that battery is probably, I'd say at least 60, 70 pounds. So that alone makes it ridiculous. So I thought it would be really cool, if you're going through the grass or bringing it camping or something, just have to pull it with a motor. But that never ended up happening because basically that alone would have been another couple $100 easy. And I'm already so much into this. I was like, no, that's too much. And on top of that, I would have had to get at least 2 more batteries, because most of the motors are, well, at least one big battery, at least another big battery, which would have really pushed this thing over the edge, weight-wise, and just kind of defeated the whole purpose. Because it's, if you were trying to lift it in out of the back of a truck or something, the motor's not going to help you. That's just going to make it harder to lift. But anyways, I keep going off point. This one is junk. It's garbage. I'm scrapping this build. But I'm kind of going to clone it, if that makes, not clone, am I saying that right? I'm going to duplicate it, but in a smaller version. This is a 150 quart Igloo, I think like Easy Cool or Max Cool or something like that. It's got the big lid, and then it's got the easy open lid, or the easy access or whatever. This is 150 quarts. I built this one so big, I'll show you the inside, it's a mess. Got dog hair and wiring everywhere that I never finished, and wrappers, and from last time we used it out on the lake. The point of this one being so big was to have all the electronics squished over into this area, which was very plausible. That's how it was. And then over here, I was going to put a wall for these speakers so there's still, decent airspace. And then you can see I already notched this out, all that down there. There's going to be another wall right there. Well, there was actually going to be 2 because I was going to insulate them so there wouldn't be no condensation on the other side. And then all this was going to be usable cooler space. I was going to put a drain in there, and, that'd still be about 40 quarts, give or take, which is plenty, for a day out on the boat or at the park or something like that. But every single time I've used this, I don't really like throw parties or, you know, host events. So I'm always, you know, tagging along somewhere, you know, going to a friend's house for a party, or, you know, going on a friend's boat or something like that. And everybody else has coolers. You know, there's always 5 coolers wherever we go, full of, you know, drinks and ice and beer and food and all that. So this thing is just like basically the entertainment, the music. I don't need all this space. It's pointless. It's a waste. It's cool because it's so big, but it's also a nuisance because it's so big. Like I've got a Ford Explorer, I got a 2006 Explorer, and this, literally with these wheels, and this, like the handle I can't even put up. I can't have it like that. I gotta like lift the front end and then dip the handle down, and then shove it in there, and it barely fits. It takes up the whole cargo area. I mean, there's some room, you know, like on the side, but point being, it's overkill. I'm over it now. You know, I had the TV in there. You can check out the, I don't know if I ever uploaded a video with the TV in it. I hope I did, because I don't have any footage with the TV in it now, but I had a little 19-inch TV right here. That will be going in the next one. But I'm going to downgrade. This is 150 quart. I'm going to downsize to 100 quart. Same exact cooler, so it's still going to have, you know, the big lid like this. It's still going to have the easy open, which is, I mean, it's going to be pointless because you're never really going to open it. But it's going to cut down a ridiculous amount of space because I don't need all this. So, basically, like, the big difference, the speakers will be, you know, I believe the speakers will just be like, you know, bam, 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 bam. I might do 2 on one side and 2 on the other. I'm not sure, because normally, like, we got this thing, like, you know, like this. It's, like, against a fence or against a wall or something like that, so we want all the sound coming this way. So, I don't know. That's undecided yet, but it's still gonna be the same speakers, you know, the same power outlets. I'm gonna replace this, because once I peel this off, it's gonna look like shit. You know, I'm gonna have the spotlights on there, the bottle opener, you know, the voltmeter, the temperature gauge, the fuse panel, the bus bars, the fan control, you know, fans, all that stuff. It's still gonna be a monster. It's still gonna be a really awesome cooler, but I'm just gonna downsize a bit because I literally don't need all this. I'm not gonna throw this one away, you know, because I might redo it in the future, or, you know, I might get really bored in the future and want to actually finish this one. You know, I'll get 4 more 6x9s and maybe even do a sub or something like that. I mean, that's something I could do right here, build a box and put like a sub in there. That's another idea for the future, but unfortunately right now, I'm going to tear this one down and hopefully today I'm going to order the 100 quart cooler, and it'll be here by like this Sunday. So I have another playlist of a cooler build, because I don't know why these things are like so addicting to build. I'd love to paint the next one, but the issue is it's got this texture, which is no big deal. You know, I paint over that, you know, keep that nice clean look, you know, like a normal cooler. But it's got a coating on there, and you have to like heat it up with a torch and scrub it with like rubbing alcohol and sand it with like a Brillo pad type deal, and then prep it, you know, all kinds of adhesion promoters and stuff like that. And then even still, like, they look awesome, but I'll see some of them where people do that, and then the paint still chips right off. You know, you get someone that bumps into it with their jeans, and a chunk of paint comes off. That's something I don't want. You know, if the thing was always going to be stationary, the paint would be great, because you're never going to touch it. But, you know, throwing this thing in and out of a boat and in the back of a truck and wheeling down at the beach and stuff, it's just not going to work. So, I don't know. Maybe I could find a different colored cooler. We'll see. But, I'm going to go with different switches, too. I hate these switches. These things are cheap. They don't fit in the stupid holes right. Half of them don't work. Like, half of them, that's off, and that's on, which is backwards. So, that pisses me off. I'm going to get, and they're crooked. I can't measure to save my life. Well, I can measure fine, but I can't execute a measurement, I guess. You know, I'll measure it, be nice and straight. I'll drill the holes, and then they're crooked. So, I'm going to do, like the rocker switches, you know, the big like rectangular ones. I'm going to get a housing for them where it's like a perfect rectangle. They're all going to be straight. And I'm almost considering going with a double DIN. I'm not sure yet. I think it would be cool because I could hook that into the input of the TV and then, you know, use that as a DVD player. At the same time, that's going to draw more power. It's going to weigh more. And I think it would kind of just look tacky because I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna shell out like $300 for a nice Pioneer to put in a cooler. It'd be like a cheap Boss or a Clarion or a Jensen or something like that. It would do the job fine, but it wouldn't look that great. So, not really sure. And on the next one, I'd kind of like to just seal this off. So, like, once you open up the lid, you got, like your switches and the TV up here, some lights. But you don't see, like, all the wiring in here, And, like, right now with this one, you open it up. The music's playing, it sounds great. You open it up, you break that barrier, that sound barrier, and it sounds like crap until you close it. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Got the spotlight down there. And the next one, I'd like to also add a radio with like HD radio, maybe like a satellite tuner or something like that too. Just to give you more options for music, because it's awesome. Bluetooth streaming from Spotify or Apple Music. I've subscribed to both. It's retarded, but sometimes it's nice to just not have to worry about a playlist. I'm driving the boat, trying to manage the music, and it'd be nice to just be able to throw on the radio and HD radio or, satellite, just have some more stuff, more options. But other than that, I'm not really going to do much else. On the next one, I'm going to get the upgraded hinges because these are garbage. Like, this cooler's not even done yet, and these things are wearing out. They're, like, bent out, and they don't, they latch and hold it, but they're loose, they're floppy. These hinges are also garbage, so it'll be a nice looking thing. I might paint the wheels a different color, too. I don't know, maybe black or do like a theme, do like white and blue or something like that. So we'll see. Definitely subscribe, like, comment if you got questions or you want to, any cool ideas or something like that. With this one, I wanted to put the lid on a linear actuator, like a powered rod, like some of the new SUVs, you press a button, the back of it opens automatically. I wanted to do that, like have a switch on here where you press it and it's just like, because with the TV, that TV was really heavy. I was going to have to find some other way to support it. If you're outside and it was windy, it would definitely blown over, and I don't want that slamming down. So the actuator would have been sweet because, it would just held it in place, then brought it back down. So I might do something like that on the next one. But I know the TV on this one went, from this top ledge down to here. So it just barely fit, width-wise it was obviously fine. So I don't know, I'm going to have to measure that other cooler. If it's not going to fit under the lid, I might do something ridiculous. And either A, like, build some kind of really thin enclosure in the back and have some kind of, like, linear actuator to where the TV would be like, come up and then go back down. Or I might, cut out part of the lid, make a real clean cut. Or, I could even, cut it out and then put, like, some diamond plate or something on there, something that would be, like, sturdy. And probably cover the cut lines. Yeah, I'd probably do that. Put, like, some kind of, nice clean plate over it. But then, have it on the actuator still, so, it looks like this, the little plate. You press a button, then the TV would come up. And that would be cool, too, because you wouldn't have to open up the lid, and I wouldn't have to worry about securing the lid and stuff like that. So, we'll see. All this stuff is up in there. I'm sure I'll change my mind 100 times. So, alrighty, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me to blabber. So, if you got any questions or anything, like I said, comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it, all that good stuff. I appreciate all that.